The risk is real. The risk is real living out our faith when we serve our clients, and yet there's no other viable option. We're going to explore why it's worth the risk in this segment.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We're honored to welcome you to another episode of Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Dekker.
I'm Ken Dekker.
And I'm Suzan Hart.
And it's where we get to share techniques, thoughts, tips, and tools on Life's Inside Track, where we really allow you to learn some techniques, some thoughts, some tips, some tools, and sometimes we're learning them right alongside you. Like this series, like this entire series.
This entire month.
This entire month where we haven't gotten to ask the questions or prepare in the way we normally would.
Yes.
Ken and I would usually spend 3+ maybe 4 hours preparing for a segment, doing research, talking it out, because we're such different humans. Getting on the same page takes effort.
Sometimes it does.
And this time we've been on the hot seat. And now we're touching.
I'd like to call it the love seat.
Okay. We'll call it the love seat. And this time we're touching a hot topic for many, and that's faith.
Yes.
So you just
take it away.
Take it away, Suzanne.
Do your best. Do your worst. I don't know. Just do.
Just do. So when we think about faith, I think it's a topic that most people don't bring to work. They don't talk about in the workplace. You and Ken, and actually you and your whole family, has chosen to be very open around your faith in your business. Has this always been the way you've done business? And if not, what inspired this change?
Because we didn't have a faith.
Okay.
We knew life quite differently than we know life now. And that's been shared on lots of Life's Inside Track episodes. If you want I was going to say nasty backstory, but I think it is a nasty backstory. It's available on lots of the different segments. It wasn't like that. And once we had a faith, we didn't start like blabbing it all over the place, but at some point we became our faith. So how do you separate who you be from how you show up in the world?
Okay.
It became, I think, for both of us and for our kids. I mean, we don't necessarily try and jam it down anybody's throat or tell them there's anything wrong with what they believe, but we're not going to hide what we believe either. Because we can't.
No, you live out your faith. You know, like we did some mentoring under John Maxwell, and John Maxwell said, there's no such thing as business ethics. There's only ethics.
Yeah.
So how you do things in life is how you do everything. And so we can't separate our relationship with God and Jesus from our business and the way we behave in our business. So, you know, there was a season where people wore those bracelets that said, you know, what would Jesus do?
WWJD.
Yeah. And I think that's the way we attempt to live out. We're not perfect. We're sinners saved by grace. And we know that our clients are as well. And we know that hurting people sometimes hurt people. And it's our workplace ministry. Sometimes we're there to serve, and there's no paycheck at the end. You know, it's designed. We're there to help, to counsel. Sometimes it's best not to sell. Sometimes it's best not to buy. Sometimes it is good to buy. So it doesn't matter to us because we know that we're looked after in the end. When we do what's the right thing to do, we get looked after in the end.
Some would say that taking this approach might be risky. What would you say about that?
Well, sure, it's a risk, but it's a risk not to. The risk of not being who we authentically are is greater than the risk of being authentically who we are and living out our faith.
I heard it said once that if you were on trial for being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And
you hope so.
What's that?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. And it doesn't mean we push Jesus on people, but when we know someone's struggling, I may say to them in the consultation, can I pray for this? Can I pray for your family? Or we sign up the listing for sale, and I say, can we pray about the sale of this home, that God would bring the right person at the right time, the right amount of money, and all of that. And it's powerful, because sometimes people say, well, will you pray for me? And you go, yeah, I'll pray for you. Well, I don't say, yes, I'll pray for you. I don't know if you've experienced this. I tend to just pray for you right then and there, whether it's by text or email or by phone, because there's nothing more powerful than someone knowing that someone's interceding on their behalf with God.
The question that comes to mind as you share this is, as you walk a path in business, and being self-employed myself, there's a path we walk, but it's not always charted, right?
Mm-hmm. Not charted at all.
How has having your faith front and center supported you in those unknown?
And trust. I think it's just to trust it's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. Mm-hmm. And is it always the financial gain? Is it always the win that we would hope? No, but it's always turning out the way it's meant to turn out.
Yeah. Like we have founded Solid Rock Realty. The name isn't, a mistake. Mm-hmm. We believe that Solid Rock is the rock we stand on, is Jesus Christ. So our company name is Solid Rock Realty. Have there been realtors, like as we've attempted to grow our company and expand our influence, have there been agents that said, no, I don't want to join your company because, you're a Bible thumper, you're going to push prayer meetings and whatever on us? And yeah, but have we also accepted in multitudes of people that have different beliefs than us, different sexual orientations, different religious faiths? Yes, we are, I'd call us a melting pot in our office, right? Because we're accepting of people because they're all God's people.
Well said. Well said.
Well, they're all created in His image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what do you think is the impact of that for those who work with you?
I've often heard it said that people don't necessarily come to us because of our faith knowingly. They come to our faith come to us because of the values we aspire to and the values we live out. And so it's not a direct correlation, but we wouldn't have those values if we didn't have our faith. So even if it's unknown, it's still the reason.
Mm-hmm. For me, it feels like this bigger compass.
Yeah.
That guides how you lead, where you go, how you serve. And it's constantly there.
Yeah. I mean, we want to be God's instrument of love in this world. And that's whether we see life the same or not.
Yeah.
And as you're an instrument of God's love, I think you're doing the best you can in His strength.
Well said.
I'm lost.
You're lost.
Again.
You know what? Sometimes we get lost, whether we're doing Life's Inside Track or not. Sometimes we cut. We don't usually cut very often. And this time we're not going to either, because we're just going to say that we love that we get to journey with you in faith, believing that what you need to hear is what you get to hear. So stay tuned as we move into the next segment without any apology.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.